And you are going to be the first person to answer this question for me, which is, what is one thing they don't teach you in law school?
Okay. So, one thing that they don't teach you in law school is how to value a lead. And this is
Yeah, they're
something I've
bad at
been,
that.
yeah, I've been noodling on this for a little bit too, but the default way that I've seen in practice that most law firms value a lead is ex post facto. So
Oh, don't
basically,
don't don't you be fancy with me on the
of the
language.
lawyers, But after the fact, right? If it closed, it's a good lead. If it doesn't close, it's a bad lead too. And it
There we
kind of
go.
reminds me of this situation. I used to live in New York City, and you'd have these situations where like it was just like really, really like aggressive catcalling, and it's like, oh, hey, baby, turn around for me, blah blah blah. And then
Yeah.
when the girl didn't say anything, they would just, oh, whatever, you're ugly anyways, right?
Yeah.
That's literally how it goes. Believe it or not, and I would say not all law firms, but the law firms that don't really seem to get any traction with growing. And the way that I've kind of thought about this in my head is like there's really two forms of value. And I've been thinking about it in terms of like the intrinsic value, which is what that case would be worth to anybody. And then there's the
Okay.
realized value, which is what that case ends up being worth to you. And
Ooh, I like
basically,
this.
in terms of qualifying things, to not make things like fuzzy and sensitive to just all the weird mental loopholes that we can get ourselves in, it's very important to focus on the intrinsic value of people coming in, which does require a little bit of restructuring. But yeah, hopefully
So
that's
you're saying this reminds me actually. I'm going to use a hiring example
yeah.
real quick here, Jan. This is like when a lawyer's sitting or a law firm owner sitting down with a prospective employee, and that person offhandedly mentions that they've like shot video before, and all of a sudden they're imagining this person being their documentarian, their super editor, making them famous on TikTok type of stuff, and you're kind of saying like they didn't notice the intrinsic value. They worked towards this like outsized, I could possibly make something out of this value.
Well, I would say it's usually in the other direction too.